right, Algebra 2, moving on to Lesson 7.3. We are working with the discriminant. This is just another continuation of what we did yesterday. We are working with ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, but the discriminant is just b squared minus 4ac. That's it, just that little part under the radical. So it's asking us, can you determine the nature of the roots of a quadratic equation by using its discriminant? So let's talk about the things that we need to know. The first thing we need to know is, I need to have my notes finished here. It says, if D is positive, if the discriminative turns out to be a positive number, the one thing that it doesn't tell us here is there are two roots, whoops, I need my highlighter. There are two roots that are real and unequal. So if it's positive, there are two roots that are real and unequal. All right, the other option is sometimes the numbers underneath the radical are negative. If they are negative, it says the roots are imaginary, which makes sense because underneath a radical, wouldn't the roots be imaginary? And there still are two different roots that are imaginary. And my last option is that if the discriminant is 0, if it is 0, I have a little mistype here. This should not say roots. There is one real and equal root. So the one root is real and equal. We usually say that there is a double root, which we've worked with double roots before. So let's go ahead and check out this discriminant. Here we have x squared minus 8x plus 5. I need to add my a, my b, and my c. My a is 1. My b is negative 8, and my c is 5. So I'm just looking for b squared minus 4ac. And we have 64 minus 20, which is the number 44. So the discriminant is the number 44. Now, if I look up on the top, I have to describe the nature of the roots. Oops, I blocked it off. So since there is a positive number, it says there are two roots. So we have two roots that are real and unequal. And I usually just write it as two real roots, but we do need to know that they're unequal because that 44, remember, there's always going to be that plus and minus. All right, moving on. What if I have x squared plus 10x plus 25 equals 0? What is my a? 1. What is my b? 10. What is my c? 25. So we have b squared minus 4ac. So my discriminant is 100 minus 100, which is 0. So the number is 0, and it tells us, oh, in green, if the discriminant is 0, then we know that there is one real root, but we call that a double root. So there's really two equal roots. That's why it says roots. So let me go ahead and answer the question. The nature of the roots, the discriminant is 0, and the nature is there is one double root. Which makes sense, because let's just put it in an equation. I have 4 plus or minus the square root of 0. Well, 4 plus 0 is 4, and 4 minus 0 is 4, so we have two of the same roots, which means it's just a double root. That's not the discriminant, by the way. This is just an example, okay? The discriminant was 0, but it didn't start with a 4. All right, let's look on. X squared minus 4x plus 13. So So if you want to, push pause, name your A, your B, and your C, and try to solve it. So I notice that my A is 1, my B is -4, my C is 13, and I have B squared minus 4AC, and I know that 4 times 13 is 52. So this is saying 16 minus 52, which is -36. My discriminant is a negative number. It's -36. So the nature of my roots, if I look back to my notes, the nature of my roots is I'm going to have 2 imaginary unequal roots. So my discriminant is -36, and this tells me that I have 2 imaginary unequal roots.